Hey everybody, what is going on? Welcome to Regularjosh1. Please take the time now to hit that like button in this video, and if you're new, subscribe. These really are helping out my channel, honestly. I mean, for the past month, I've been really growing in terms of views and in terms of subscribers. I just have to say thank you guys so much for the support, and I would love for this channel to continue to keep growing. Let's go ahead and get started with this Q&A, ladies and gentlemen. So, just to let you know, this will be a two-parter because I actually got a lot more questions than I was expecting to. And because of that, I'm not necessarily going to answer every single question that I received. I don't want these videos to be too long, so that's kind of why I'm gonna have to unfortunately skip some of yours. So it's not necessarily gonna be me ignoring you, but you know, it's just that sort of thing. So just want to let you guys know about that. But right now, let's just get to our first question. And our first question comes from Brony T Pony, and they ask, what are your thoughts on the Nick Jr. series Corn and Peg? So yeah, I've seen like a couple of clips from that show. It looks cute enough. I mean, it's not necessarily a show that I've watched at all. Kinda not necessarily my thing, nor did I really have that much interest in really seeing it. I guess it's about them solving problems or going on adventures or something like that. I'm not quite sure. You know, kind of the typical things that a little kid's preschool show would be about and whatnot. But yeah, other than that, haven't really seen it much of it, but it seems to be kind of cute and whatnot. So that's all I really got to say about it. Christopher Millen asks, if there was one old cartoon you would reboot, what would it be and why? That one's kind of tough, honestly. Kind of have a couple, but if I had to really choose one, I would probably just have to simply say Kim Possible, mainly because Kim Possible was such an awesome show. I don't think it ever really got stale throughout all the years that it's ran on Disney Channel. If they had to reboot Kim Possible and they had the same people who worked on the live action movie, then I'm already dead with it. Let's be real, because that movie was very bad. Dubbing Fan 101 asks, what's your opinion on It's Pony? You know, with It's Pony, I never really got into the show. You know, when I was watching the promos for it, it just didn't necessarily seem like it was my cup of tea, I guess. I think I did watch maybe 1 or 2 episodes, and I thought they were okay, but it didn't, I guess it wasn't enough to really pull me in. I haven't heard much people really talking about It's Pony, so I'm not quite sure if it's well received by most people or if it's kind of mixed or what. I'm not quite sure about that, but maybe one day I'll go ahead and check out It's Pony. It's definitely very possible. Polly Nutty, I guess that's how you say his name. And if I mispronounce your usernames, I apologize for that. Polly asks, do you like the Polar Express 2004 film? I think I've only really seen that movie maybe 2 or 3 times in my life, honestly. When I saw it when I was a kid, I did enjoy it, but it definitely certainly wasn't one of those movies that I would consider to be my favorite. I really do love the story of the Polar Express. Like, I still have the book, and I also still have like the CD. This is by all means not saying that the movie's bad or I didn't like the movie, because I did like the movie, and maybe one day I'll probably check it out again. Kim and Crouch asks, do you think that 2021 will have a better or worse animated shows? I don't know every single animated show that will be coming to us right now. Like, I still have to kind of look more into it. It's possible that we'll have some better content. Maybe some of them will be just as good as they are now, and maybe some will be worse. There's really no way of knowing, at least for me right now. Kendra Raspberry asks, did you like Ed and Eddie and Johnny Bravo? Of course I did. I mean, when I was a kid, I would watch those shows almost any time they would be on TV. Those 2 shows were definitely one of my favorites. I would have to say, when it comes to Ed and Eddie or Johnny Bravo, I would probably have to say I like Ed and Eddie a lot more. Maybe because of the animation and the voice acting and just kind of the wackiness of the show when you really think about it. The show was hilarious, but it was also crazy at the same time. And also the ending movie, the way they kind of ended the entire series, absolutely amazing. Just loved every single minute of it. T.Y. Neves, I guess that's how you say your last name, I believe, asked me 10 questions. I'm gonna try to answer all of them, probably as quickly as I can, but here we go. Q&A questions. Number 1, can you make cornbread? I haven't necessarily tried making cornbread before, but I'm pretty sure I can. 2, have you seen the TV series Dexter, and if so, what do you think of it? My mom used to watch Dexter, and I never never necessarily watched it with her, mainly because at the time when Dexter was on, I was much younger, and of course I wouldn't really be into a show like that. But so in short, kinda, but at the same time, no. 3. What's a movie you really didn't like but can't disagree it's a good movie? That one, that's a good question. I wish I had an answer to it. I don't know. That's a tough one. I would probably have to think about that one for a while. That's a very interesting question. I don't know. Number 4, what cartoons have you seen recently that you really like? If anything, I would still have to say Green Eggs and Ham on Netflix. That show is still one of my favorites, and I can't wait for season 2. I'm very, very excited for that. 5, did you enjoy Halloween this year? Yeah, I did. I didn't do too much, obviously, on the day of Halloween, but I have been going to a theme park called Knott's Berry Farm. They were doing like these food festivals and whatnot, and they did one for Halloween. And they had some scare actors around, obviously not scaring people, but just walking around and everything, being in character. It was very cool. So I would have to say, because of that, I definitely had a pretty good Halloween this year, so that was pretty cool. 6, what YouTubers have you seen recently that you really like? In terms of recently, I would have to say that would be in the past year or so. Probably Optimus, maybe, because like there's videos he kind of tends to make about, like, say, current events or certain things that are going on YouTube. In some ways, he kind of shares a lot of the same opinions that I have on certain situations. That's at least one that I can think of right now. 7, what sports did you play as a kid? Surprisingly, as a kid, I actually played a little bit of basketball. I was the smallest one on the court. The story of my life, honestly. Always being the shortest kid in almost anything I was doing. Every time I would have to make a shot, the coaches would have to pick me up and allow me to put the ball in the basket and whatnot, which was cool and everything. That didn't necessarily last very long, but I was interested in it at the time, so surprising to a lot of you, I'm pretty sure. 8, what kind of music do you like? I kind of like most kind of music. I do like a little bit of rock, R&B, some kind of pop, not a lot, but a little bit. Techno, soft chill type of music, Broadway music. The only music I'm somewhat indifferent on is honestly country music, because some of it is good, but a lot of it just kind of sounds the same to me, and it's, you know, it's just not my thing. 9, what was your favorite subject in school? Anything that didn't have to do with math, history, English, or science. I mean, okay, maybe science was more my favorite subject in school, but definitely it would have to be my electives, which was mainly within the acting realm. Number 10, have you traveled outside the United States? Yes, I've traveled to Mexico a few times. I've been to Cuba, been to Canada, and I've also been to Europe. In Europe, I was in Germany, Austria, and Italy. A lot of them was also with the tour that I was doing with the choir that I used to be in. Agnes, I guess? I'm not quite sure how to say your name, but I'll just say AT asks, why did you choose a bunny for your profile? Simply because I like bunnies. That's kind of the only reason I got, honestly. I'm just gonna say Terry asks, 1, have you seen any anime? If so, what are your favorites? I'm not that much of an anime person. I mean, I used to be when I was in middle school and in high school. I would always go to an anime club, but nowadays I just, for whatever reason, can't particularly get into anime anymore. I haven't really been watching any anime series recently, and with some of them that I've watched before, it wasn't like I was watching the whole series. I would check a couple of episodes. What is your favorite animated movie of all time? That would definitely have to go to Finding Nemo. I mean, Finding Nemo is just always going to have a very, very special place in my heart. All the time. The J. Cruz Show asks, what's your opinion on modern SpongeBob season 9 through 12? I think that, especially compared to, as a lot of people would consider, the ScumBob era of SpongeBob episodes, the more recent episodes of SpongeBob are definitely an improvement. Way better. I do think that in some ways it's a bit more zanier and a little bit more crazier in terms of, say, the animation and sometimes the things the characters do and whatnot, but I definitely do like the more modern episodes of SpongeBob compared to, like, the middle seasons. But other than that, seasons 9 through 12, I do happen to enjoy it. Pinky Pool Gamer Brony 30 asks, do you like Gravity Falls? Also, do you like Amphibia and or The Owl House? I have watched a lot of Gravity Falls, and I definitely do like it. I didn't get into it at first, but then when I started kind of watching somewhere, I guess, in the middle of season 1, and I started knowing like where the story was going. I definitely got more into it. When it comes to Amphibia, I've seen a couple of episodes, but I haven't necessarily been watching the show. From the episodes I've seen, I definitely liked it, but for whatever reason, it just didn't pull me in enough to keep watching more episodes. Also, for the Owl House, never really watched an episode of it, and I'm not particularly all that interested. I mean, it looks like a good show, but for whatever reason, I'm just not wanting to watch it or something. I don't know. Kadzio, I guess, Mania asks, how old are you, plus what is your favorite movie? I am currently 24 years old, about to be 24 and a half years old on December 10th, and my favorite movie still is Finding Nemo. The Fan Man asks, favorite SpongeBob episode? That one is definitely hard. I have a lot of them, to be honest. There's Candy Spare a Dime, the Band Geeks, Secret Box, Just One Bite. There's so many great episodes that I really enjoy watching. I honestly just can't choose one. Wildcat the Bold asks, how do you feel about the new Animaniacs reboot? I'm pretty excited for that. I'll definitely try to check that out. It comes out in a few days after this video will be posted. I didn't see too much of Animaniacs when I was young, but I definitely did see enough to be familiar with how the show was, be familiar with the characters, Pinky and the Brain, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Snowflake / Buttons World asks, why did you delete the majority of your old videos? Plain and simple, very cringeworthy. I mean, very cringeworthy, honest to God. So that's honestly why I deleted those. Well, most of them are privated now, but there were a few that I deleted because I just... yeah, they were just way too cringy for me. I'm like, I don't want people seeing these. I have no idea how to say your name. Averatsitajat, I guess. You ask, is your bunny drawn by you? Absolutely not. I cannot draw to save my damn life. The person who did draw all of my expressions and just the drawings in general is a person by the name, or their username is Kiminuki. Link will be in the description if you want to go ahead and check out her art. And the final question for today will be from Secret Street Fighter, who says, what made you change your avatar from pony to bunny? Simply because at the time, I just didn't necessarily feel like it made sense for me to continue having my avatar be that of a pony. If, for one, I didn't really talk all that much about My Little Pony anymore, and if I wasn't really that much of a brony. I consider myself a brony only for like 1 month before I dipped. I still did watch the show My Little Pony for a bit, and I still enjoyed it, so I guess that's kind of why I particularly kept that avatar for a while. But after I stopped really watching the show and kind of fell out of it, I was kind of like, I shouldn't really be a pony anymore on this channel, so I might as well just change my avatar. And so, you know, the bunny came in, and I was like, yeah, that's basically going to be my new avatar. Kind of just makes more sense to me. Well, that's going to do it for this video, ladies and gentlemen. It's kind of a long one. I'm going to answer a majority of questions in the next video, and I don't know exactly when that's going to come out. Maybe a couple of days after this one's been posted, or maybe a few days, who knows. But don't worry, if I haven't answered some of your questions, it will be in the next video, ladies and gentlemen. So don't worry about that. That will be coming out pretty soon. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and hit the bell to be notified of my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, you're hearing it from a regular bunny in a regular world. See you next time.